on a pretty exciting trip right now. We're gonna go down and we're gonna try a couple trails that I've ridden before, and then we're gonna sample a brand new trail that hasn't opened yet. But what makes this even more exciting is that we're gonna do this with Ostacruiser, who has never been to Hatfield McCoy. The last time I was with Ostacruiser, he was asking me, what are your favorite trails to ride? And I said, without even missing a beat, Hatfield McCoy Trails, you gotta go, and he'd never been before. So we organized a trip. We're gonna meet him down there. We're gonna head out on the Hatfield McCoy Trails and ride for a few days, give him a feel of what Trails Heaven is really all about. So I'm excited, can't wait, got a few more hours of driving to do. So the first morning of our ride, we met up with Dave at basically the main headquarters for Hillbilly Rentals, began to unload our vehicles and get ready for our ride. Super excited about today. I think the thing I'm most excited about is showing Ostacruiser around the trails here. And we've talked about it for so long, and I talked it up so much. A little nervous. I hope it all lives up to his expectations, but it's Hatfield McCoy, so of course it's going to.
Did you guys need us to bring a tow strap just in case? Just kidding. I'm excited. This is our first time ever at Hatfield McCoy. There's so many freaking trails. For me, I always wanted to come and experience Hatfield McCoy, and then Mrs. Austin, I need this lady right here to do the planning.
I was just about to say.
Otherwise, stuff like this would never happen.
So I don't technically watch a lot of YouTube. Of course, he's always watching it, and I've seen you guys, and I'm like, that would be a cool place to go. So there you go. It's because of you guys. Yeah,
just the miles and miles, like, you literally could ride for probably 2 or 3 weeks and never ride the same trail. The entire system, what do they say? They have like 1,000 miles. By the end of the year, they're gonna have something like 1,300 miles of trail. So Bear Wallow, our first day of riding, it was really mixed terrain.
Yeah.
What was funny is we went through the small town, and immediately when you hit the trailhead, you're into steep switchbacks, and it's like, it was our first 15 minutes at Hatfield, and it was the coolest intro, I think, because it was just straight into hill climbs and switchbacks.
Well, the best was when we came off that one road and just went.
Yeah.
Bear Wallow is great. It's got a really great mix of easy trails, medium trails, and then not too many that are super hard or black trails, I guess. But it's a really nice trail system. It's a little bit more compact. It's intended just for ATV side-by-sides and dirt bikes. It's more mellow. It's something you can kind of ride and not really worry too much about being overly challenged. So if you just want a nice ride, that's a great system to choose.
As soon as we started driving, I was like, pretty big storm went through yesterday. Chainsaw probably would be a
Even though we had it,
piece of kit to throw into the Ranger. It doesn't take us long to run into the first tree. We have a handsaw.
What did you guys call it? Not the handsaw?
The MS1.
We'll take turns.
Come on, Luke. We're gonna cut down a big tree with a handsaw. I think this is like going back to the old days.
Here's me just struggling with this handsaw, cutting a tree like this. And then Luke hooks onto it with the Ranger and snaps it right in half, thank goodness.
Yeah, the
pushed
Ranger
it out of the way,
for the win right there.
and we were on our way.
We rode the morning after the storm, and they just hadn't got to these spots yet. So certainly the fact that we had to move some trees isn't indicative of a lack of maintenance. These guys are on the ball, and in like 24 hours, they had every mile of their trail completely cleared. So that's pretty impressive. One of the cool things about the Bear Wallow trail system is that there's actually a spot where they used to bore mine, basically drilling into the side of the mountain and leave these great big boreholes to get the coal out. And so there's a spot you can go and actually see those and touch them and look inside of them. So I wanted to take Dave and Carrie there to check it out, because it's really a unique spot you can't see anywhere else. If I lived here, I'd come up here and chip away at this. One of the really unique things about Bear Wallow trails is that you can ride them right into the Walmart parking lot. Just outside of the town of Logan, there's this great big shopping complex. They have restaurants, Walmart, there's all kinds of other stores in there. There's a McDonald's, gas station, and the trail actually goes right into that parking complex.
Got to go to Walmart. We went to Burger King, for crying out loud.
Still was disappointed we didn't go through the drive-through, but.
Unloading off your truck and never having to touch your truck until you load up and leave after your weekend of riding or your week of riding.
So even that, you could literally pull up into the parking lot at Walmart and then go. Right?
Yeah, if you wanted to, yeah.
There you go.
Bear Wallow, where you stage, where you park and stage from,
Yeah, it was awesome.
they have showers, they have bathrooms, and all brand new stuff and all like super like cool.
And there's also, you know, you can rent a camper and stuff like that, and it's all right there, and
Yeah,
there's a little
they have
creek down
RV
there.
spots.
It's really comfortable and really family friendly as well, right?
And you got fuel stations, you have Walmart, you have everything you need. That's
Yep.
and that's another reason why that would be a super cool trail system for your first time. If you need it, you can get it.
The bathrooms are amazing, Shonda.
Our second day of riding was on the Ivy Branch Trail Network, and Ivy Branch is really cool because it's one of the only networks in the Hatfield system that allows full-size trucks and Jeeps. So we met up with a couple of Dave's friends first thing in the morning before we headed out onto the Ivy Branch Trails. Nick and Frank from R3. R3 is a YouTube channel out there, and they're really great guys. We had a great time riding with them. They brought their turbocharged Razor Pro R that made somewhere in the neighborhood of 400, 450 horsepower.
Plan for second day was just to ride Ivy Branch, and what's cool about it is this is where we're staying, right at the trailhead in these cabins. We were the first ones to be in these cabins, like literally pulling the plastic off the TV screens. I didn't know what to expect. More maybe like Bear Wallow, and there is a lot like Bear Wallow.
We haven't even hit
Scratched the
yeah,
surface,
like there's
really.
so many.
So Hatfield McCoy is partnered with Onyx Off-Road for their mapping, and so all of the Hatfield McCoy maps are in the Onyx app on your phone or on your tablet or whatever else. Everything you need to know, all the trail numbers, everything is right here in Onyx. This is amazing. This works so good. I like this system because it has some really unique spots. There's lots of trails that are catered just to ATVs and side-by-sides. But if you do have a bigger truck, Jeep, rock buggy, this is the system to go to. It's got some cool rock climbs and ledges, technical gnarly sections. There's a lot of blacks and double blacks on Ivy Branch. And I really wanted to take Dave there because he's into all different types of riding, and I wanted to show him the different challenges.
Did you like those?
Yeah.
Mrs. Austin did not like those.
I did. not the rocky ones, but there was a couple there before the nasty ones.
But we got into some really cool double black stuff.
We are airing down. Did you see that? Did you see that trail we're gonna try? And like, I have no idea. The cars will tell us right away if it seems like it's gonna go up the first half pretty easily. But I don't know. It's wet. It's slick. It's muddy. The rocks are wet. So we'll see. I'm like, man, I hear a tire leak. It's just you taking air out of the back one.
You didn't have nowhere near enough out.
Okay, Daddy. Sorry. Drive up this wall east.
No.
I could try a little bit. I just.
Voice of reason over here.
Every time I say don't do it, they should listen because I know. I've predicted it every single time.
You're saying double black. It's actually
Yes.
really double black.
Yes, yes.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, go ahead. High five real quick.
I think that's a presence of mind award to keep the throttle on and not off. Like,
The little sign tells you what you need, and it's like, that must be over 200 cc's, must have four-wheel drive.
You
and
must
it's like
be an
so much more than that.
A very experienced driver.
Yes,
It says
yes.
it on the front.
Or very lucky, one of the two.
David, you said this wasn't anything like the last one. Bro, this looks just like the last one. Here's what I was planning. That and this. I didn't. How in the hell am I gonna get through that? Axel!
We don't want to go back to Axelville.
they tried some ridiculous rock climbs. Honestly, some of the stuff that those guys tried, when I first looked at it, I was like, hey guys, look at this. I only stopped to show them how gnarly it was, and then both Nick and Dave were like, hey, let's try this. But those guys are really good drivers, and they managed to climb some stuff that I thought was definitely impossible. With that said, each time we did, on each of the climbs, we got to a point where you just couldn't go any further with a side-by-side. But I was very impressed with their rock crawling abilities.
it's like you think what you're going to expect, and then it just totally goes way above and beyond. The stuff we did today was above and beyond what I thought there was at Hatfield McCoy. There really is something for every difficulty level. You definitely can get out of your comfort zone if you want to. If you want to.
Our third day at Hatfield McCoy was kind of a unique one, and that is the development of a new trail. So Hatfield is developing a new trail. It's called Big Coal River. It's in a new community. It's going to service a new community.
Most cool on day 3 for me was being able to be there while they're building the trail.
Yeah.
Talking to them, they went through the whole deal. A lot of stuff, they have to walk it and map it and plan it, and there's so much behind the scenes that goes in to make a working trail system. And it was cool to be able to see a little bit of that.
And we headed out with a guy named Derek, who is the planner. He's the guy who goes out into the bush when there is no trails, sets out where the trails are going to be. It's a tough job, and that's one of the things that really stands out to me about Hatfield McCoy is that the process of putting trails on these properties is not something that just happens easily. There are so many instances where they have to build a trail out of nothing on the side of a mountain.
Right now we're on the Big Coal River trail system. We're probably 50% through the process of everything. 35 miles complete right now, and we still have about 20 or 25 miles to finish it. And then on top of that, we have to come in and brush everything and sign everything. We've been on this trail system for about 5 or 6 months now. What I'm looking for when we go to build a road is really not anything specific other than the haulers help. When you get back into the haulers, it gives you more room, and it usually lays a little better than when you get into the points, you're going to run into rock. And as soon as you start hitting rock, it's going to slow down. So you try to avoid that as much as possible.
Like they had that little D3 cat, and it was pushing dirt. I got some pretty good video. It had a full blades full. When do you get the opportunity to see the trail first being built? And then talking to them, they went through the whole deal of how, say like a landowner approaches them and says, would you like to, make some trails?
We use Cat D5 dozers, and we have Cat excavators we'll use. Do everything we can with the dozer, it's a little quicker. Then if we need the excavator, we'll bring it in, put in drain pipes. If we have areas where we need to bust rock to get through a section to build, we'll use it to bust rock, move brush. Once everything is in, we will bring members of the field crew in. We'll start brushing everything by hand and setting their signage. It takes about 10 employees to usually spend about 6 months to a year from beginning to the end. Sometimes a little longer, just depending on how big the trail system is, what we run into while we're doing it, weather, the terrain.
Nice to know that they actually care about the trail system. They're putting in, because they ride the trail system as well as make it. Yeah.
Like they're saying they have a dozer and an operator at every single trail system. Before we got here, there was a large storm, there was trees down there. They don't have to trailer a guy in, so
good. That
day he can be up there fixing holes, clearing trees. If you're ever even contemplating coming, come, it's worth it, 100%. There's something for everyone. There's something for every type of vehicle, whether you're on a quad, whether you're on a side-by-side, whether you're in a buggy.
Honestly, when I go riding, that's what I like, just relaxation. So if you're coming for, a little bit of both, you're gonna get it. We've experienced lots of different things, so this was definitely different than what I had expected it to be. I thought it was just gonna be flat trails, kind of chill. Definitely impressed, and obviously the rock stuff was, yeah.
It was cool.
If they want a challenge, you'll find it.
Yeah, exactly.